Here is Donald Trump. Now you may have seen this clip yesterday because he talked about how he wasn't going to say the word woke. The whole thing, is this the one where he says he's not going to say woke?
This is like, that clip is like 8 seconds long. This is like the full clip of him, what he's responding to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here.
It has it in there.
Urbandale, Iowa.
Since your last term in office, there have been a lot of attacks on education in terms of censorship and all of that. So I was wondering what your thoughts were on parental control and that kind of thing within school choice, and all of that. Education is very important to me, so wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
So pause it for 1 second. Now, when she says attacks on parental control, is she saying that like there's been a lot of parents who are now not allowed to meet with their children's doctors and get health care needed for them if that health care involves any type of gender affirming care? Is that what the question is?
I honestly can't tell where she's coming from, because she mentioned censorship too, and like the right is doing the censorship.
She said school choice too, which I think is like, that's like charter school stuff, right?
Right. I don't understand what the point of that question was. Like which direction.
Let's find out how he took it.
Wondering what your thoughts were on parental control and that kind of thing within school choice, and all of that. Education is very important to me, so wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
So
Thank you.
very good question. Congratulations, by the way. Good. Were you a good student? Were you good? Pretty good. Okay, just pretty good.
She just got a $180,000 scholarship, a naval scholarship to go to Yale.
Wow. Oh, wow. She's very modest. She's very modest. That's fantastic. That's great. Congratulations.
I went to
very big
UPenn.
on school choice. Can you imagine we even have to talk about parental control and basically having parents get involved? We have school systems that don't even want to talk to the parents about their children. And you talk about changing gender and things where the child can make a choice and the child can be unbelievably young. The country has gone sick. It's gone sick. And I don't like the term woke because I hear woke. You know, it's like just a term that half the people can't even define it. They don't know what it is. But you look at these things like women getting, competed with, men that were men and are men. And they're out there swimming and setting records. You see the records that are being broken? Records that lasted for 19 years are being broken by, 30 seconds. They're trying to win by a 16th of a second in swimming on one of the events. A 16th of a second.
Okay, there's his education policy. There's his education policy. But we did catch him saying he's tired of the woke thing. That is obviously he's talking about. He's either saying like I'm trying to make it impossible for Ron DeSantis to talk about woke stuff.
Yeah.
Or he's just saying we need to move past this as a country. Stop talking about wokeness because it's a canard, and it could be a very mature perspective he's taken on this.
He does buy into the framing, like they're letting teachers are encouraging students to go trans, and like what's actually happening when they talk about parental control, it's like, does a teacher, if a student decides they're going to say socially transition and go by she her instead of he him, should that teacher be forced by, let's say, a Republican legislature to out that student to parents who might be bigoted? That's what we mean by parental control here.
But what we don't mean is that parents have the right, in consultation with their kids and their kids' doctor, to sign off on any type of gender affirming care. That's what parental control means to them.
Yeah, that bigoted parents control pro-trans parents from allowing their kids to.
Now, that happened yesterday, right? At when was that, Iowa?
That was in the afternoon, and then at night he had a town hall with Hannity.
And here is, and so this is about 8 or 9 hours later, same state, and remember, no more woke.
Military is great. A lot of things going on with our military, with the woke and all this nonsense. They're not learning to fight and protect us from some very bad people. They want to go woke. That's all they talk about now. I see letters that are being sent. It's horrible. I mean, it's really a serious problem. That would end immediately.
The woke in the military will end immediately. Remember all of the wokeness that was going to get cut out of the military budget by the Republicans? That's what they wanted to, because in part of they don't want to be so militaristic anymore. Well, the one line item in the budget that increased under their debt hostage taking was for military services. And also, to be fair, also to the VA, which we probably did need more, although I imagine it's all contracted out.
And for folks who think like, oh, wow, they might be doing it on grounds of wokeness, but hey, the right is criticizing the military. It's like, yeah, they criticized Truman for integrating
Exactly.
the military. They were criticized, like the entire 90s was like, are gay people in there? We need to get them out of there. We're not going to be able to fight. This is the exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing, except for now they don't have anything to point to. They just call it woke and they don't have to be specific, which incidentally is the whole point of that.
Right. What Trump was saying.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of saying woke is so they don't have to actually say the words. I don't feel like we should have any type of like equality within the context of our country. And I know that homophobia now, we don't do that anymore. So instead of saying, I hate the gays, I'm going to say like, I don't believe, I'm not woke. Instead of like saying, I hate the blacks, or I hate the Puerto Ricans, or I hate Mexicans, I'm not woke. And then that's what it's called. It's laundering. That's what that is.
Transcending into more and more abstraction.
What happened to all the CRT? What happened to that? You know what's happening right now? The only people who are taking CRT is MS-13. They're all in one big place with the caravan, and that they've contained it. That's the amazing thing, how much they need to work through this stuff. Like they pound it, play it out, lost its salience. Let's move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm. Getting diminishing returns now. So let's put Rufo on the bench for a couple months.
Well, Rufo is busy because he's down in Florida running a university and basically outlining any type of learning of history or anything involving race or critique of our society or anything like that.